Assalamualaikum and good afternoon. I'm Najia Zaidi from SM News. Today's attend a special report on the two issues of YNH Property Berhad, which the first issues is the issues on pandemic COVID-19 that had delays on both ongoing projects and the future project planning of YNH. And the second issue is on earning per share of YNH Property Berhad that had been decreased over the year. YNH is a Malaysian real estate development and investment company that was established in 1992 and is listed on Bursa Malaysia. In addition to managing investment properties, YNH engaged in a variety of operations, including the development of residential and commercial building. YNH is renowned in the market for bringing top-notch properties to the market and is well acknowledged in the sector for emphasizing sustainability and innovation. YNH also is a well-established player in the Malaysian property market. The organization's vision is to enrich the lives and the future of people, while their mission is to build trust and form a stable partnership with its stakeholders. And YNH will identify and provide lifestyle solutions that cater to different needs. I want to pass the further explanation on the issues to the consultant of YNH Property Berhad. So let us hear from their perspective first.
Thank you, Ms. Najiha. We are consultant from YNH Property Berhad. So the first issue are related to COVID-19 pandemic. So the net profit of YNH Property fell to 3.0 million, down nearly 59% from 7.28 million the previous year for the first quarter financial year ended 31st March 2020. As a result, the earning contribution from project was smaller. In conclusion, the group's financial year 2020 revenue was lower at 179.90 million compared to the previous year. This is due to the rising dissemination of COVID-19 and the MCO has created delay in both ongoing project and future project planning, and as a result, its hotel and hospitality businesses have low occupancy rates. Second issue stated on the news that earning per share for YNH decreased for the year 2022. Earning per share for YNH fell from 0.28 cent to 0.01 cent in 2022. YNH Berhad net profit fell 97.07% to 43,000 for the third quarter ended 30 September 2022. From 1.47 million for the same quarter last year, when the K13 development here was completed. The COVID-19 pandemic has hampered the group project progresses as well as its hospitality arms. Next. For the future launch project for YNH Property Berhad is as follows. The first one is Celestia at Genting Highland Shade. Second is Menara YNH. Third is Eco Suites. And the fourth launch project is Solasta Dutamas. That's all from me. For the next part, I will move to Ms. Afida.
Thank you, Ms. Asma Nadira. From the SWOT analysis for YNH Property, we found that the first trend for the YNH is market leadership positions. In the construction services market, YNH is the market leader and it helps businesses in rapidly increasing the success of new products. Secondly is innovation track record. YNH has a successful history of consumer-driven innovation, despite the fact that the majority of capital goods players seek to innovate. Next, we will move to the weaknesses of YNH Property are lower of supplier loyalty. It considering YNH Property track record of developing fresh idea to lower cost throughout the supply chain. The second weakness is the cost of replacing current expertise inside the YNH is high. A limited group of people hold the knowledge base within the YNH Property, making it difficult to replace them currently. Next is revenue per unit for 1NH is declining due to competitive rivalry in construction services. Profitability is in jeopardy. For a company name to effectively manage these situations, a good place to start would be to objectively evaluate the present value propositions of the various commodities. Okay, next, the opportunities for 1NH are consumers are increasingly choosing more costly goods. Tremendous opportunity exists for 1NH as a result of the company's strong brand recognitions in the premium market and consumer favorable experience with 1NH product in the lower segment. It could help the company and present a possibility of increasing profitability. Secondly is expanding the market's lower tier client base. Customers in the capital goods industry must migrate from unlicensed to licensed player. It will provide 1NH the opportunity to enter the entry-level market with a straightforward offering. Using specialized social network and independent retail partner to minimize the cost of new product launch is the next opportunity for 1NH. After a new product first success, the new trend of beginning small from getting big can be adopted by 1NH property. The threats for the company is changes in the population. Baby boomers retire, the next generation is unable to fill their role as customer. Young people may be less brand loyal and more eager to try new product as a consequence, which might lead to a rise in short-term revenue for 1NH but a decrease in long-term margin. And the last three is institutional suspicions and a growing risk of legal action for 1NH. Because it is challenging to enforce WTO rules and law across several markets, legal procedures have become time-consuming and expensive. It may lead 1NH to spend less in developing regions, which would restrict growth. Okay, for the next part, I will pass to the Miss Alia.
Alright, thank you, Miss Afida. Okay, I will continue with the those analysis. So, for the strength opportunity strategy, I found out that even consumers are increasingly choosing more costly goods, but they still be a market leadership position. Although the consumer taste change, YNH can maintain its company's position as the market leadership in Malaysia. This shows that YNH can overcome its competitors in the market. And then for the weakness opportunity strategy, I found that by using specialized social networks and independent retail partners in minimizing the cost of new product launch will solve the cost of replacing current expertise inside YNH is high. And next, for the strength threat strategy, I analyzed that even though there are change in the population, but they can make an innovation track record. This shows that YNH is always doing innovation in improving the company's achievement. Indirectly, if there is a change in the population of the community, YNH will face the problem by making change to improve the company's innovation. And for the last strategy, which is weakness threat strategy, I found that the institutional suspicions and the growing risk of legal action for YNH can be minimized by overcoming the problem of declining unit revenue for YNH property. The decrease in YNH properties unit revenue is due to the competitive competition in construction services, which will simultaneously cause the company to be more competitive to overcome the company's competition. But YNH also needs to compete in a healthy way without causing suspicion in the institution and at the same time increasing the risk of legal action against the company. So that's all from me. For the next part, I will pass to the Miss Izati.
Thank you, Ms. Alia. Moving to the recommendation for the issue for COVID-19 pandemic, suggested for YNH to reset the company strategy in COVID-19 recovery because the previous strategy might not relevant anymore. They should focus on keeping the business to still operate and take immediate action to reduce the problem and find other long-term strategy to improve their financial performance back. Next, YNH may take a temporary reset by making some discounted price for selling property so that some people might able to buy in that current situation. They also can change their target market to suitable with their property in that time. At the same time, they should maintain the property in good condition because they will continue selling the property after the pandemic. Idle property will cost them to clean and sell them again. Next, they can start to recover by rebudget their financial to make sure no excess or unnecessary project that they will start and help the company to reduce loss. They need to create a plan for their new strategy to see growth in their company and build sustainable changes into their business and operating models. But they must determine the crises that broken their existing strategy and models so that they can make an efficient strategy. Lastly, YNH also should not forget to know their competitors because there are many more properties company that impact by the pandemic and trying to improve their financial position. Knowing their competitors offering strengths and weakness, they can take advantage to overcome their competitors and lead the market and take all the opportunities. Moving to the APS, as we can see the graph, APS for YNH are decreasing from positive value down to negative value. To fix this issue, they can implement some strategies such as firstly, they must sell their outstanding property that they still hold. But how they want to sell it? They should do some initiative to sell the property and gain the revenue. They can improve their marketing, but at the same time, without huge cost on marketing. They can promote through website, media social, billboard, and anything that might suitable for it. They must know their target market to increase the probability to get new client and customer. Next, YNH should reduce costs and expenses as much as they can to not making their net profit become low. For example, they should analyze their other expenses and conclude if there is any unnecessary expenses that should not occur or can be reduced. They can move to online marketing tools to reduce marketing costs. Reducing expenses give a good impact to the company for a long term if they can maintain it. Lastly, YNH should consider for the equipment used for the project, such as they can compare either buying their own or rent from external parties, are more efficient and profitable, especially for equipment that short-term need. They should increase rent out their plant and machinery and their any extra building or storage. Lastly, they can do share buyback to reduce the share outstanding and increase the EPS, simultaneously attract new investor. I think that's all from us, consultant from YNH Property Berhad. I will pass back to the news anchor to Ms. Najiha. Thank you.
Thank you for the further explanation. So let us move to the next news.